Maybe you caught the captor slipping, and maybe he just forgot to lock the door. You go through the door thinking you're going to get out, and this is the jarring image that you see waiting for you, just so he could beat your ass. I know me, when I was 15, 16 years old, I was about, I don't know, 80 pounds. I probably would have pissed myself before dying. Hey, what's going on, folks? We're back with another episode of Just My Opinion with yours truly, Ryan. And if this is your first time here, please hit that like and subscribe button. For those who keep returning, thank you, thank you, thank you. I truly, truly appreciate it. And today we're going to be discussing the movie The Black Phone. I know I'm a little late. I know it came out last Friday, but I just saw it Monday. But between juggling work and other things, just now getting around to reviewing it. Let me just be the first to say, man, Ethan Hawke does not miss when it comes to horror movies, all right? Sinister, The Purge before the sequels got corny. I think after like the second one, like Purge 3 on up was kind of like, okay, we get it. But so as I mentioned, you got The Purge, Sinister, and now you got The Black Phone. He was in some other movies as well back in the day. I want to say 2010. It was something about vampires. The name escapes me. I'll put it in the edits. But when it comes to scary movies, that boy Ethan Hawke doesn't miss. And if I'm not mistaken, this is the first horror movie where he's actually the bad guy. He is actually the antagonist. The Black Phone was directed by Scott Derrickson. And, you know, they actually have chemistry before, you know, Scott Derrickson and Ethan Hawke with the movie Sinister. They worked on Sinister together. Scott Derrickson also did other movies such as Deliver Us from Evil. He's definitely, I think, The Exorcism. So Scott Derrickson is no stranger when it comes to horror movies. The main character in this movie is a teenage boy by the name of Finney. He is played by Mason Thames. Mason Thames, and probably the best younger sibling in the movie, Madeline McGraw, and she plays Gwendolyn, which is Finney's younger sister. Those two, well, the sister and the best friend of Finney, I forget the actor's name, but he was a Hispanic kid by the name of Robin. Those two, the little sister and Robin, co-MVPs in this movie, man. Just straight like that, man. I truly enjoyed this movie. I may give a few spoilers, but I don't want to spoil the heck out of this movie. I'm just trying a different approach. This movie was off the chain. It definitely reminded me like a mixture between The Lovely Bones and Silence of the Lambs. For those who are unfamiliar with what Black Phone is about, there are a string of child abductions or teenage boys being abducted, and Finney is the main character who ends up getting abducted. And the room that he is held captive in has a disconnected black phone, but some type of static electricity causes the black phone to ring. Therefore, all the previous victims, you know, who are now dead, the ghosts of these previous victims call this black phone and will give Finney small hints and clues on different ways on trying to escape. So that's what the movie is about. And the reason why the younger sister needs to get MVP, she actually has some type of clairvoyant might be the wrong word, but she has some type of, I guess, like rendezvous type of powers. Like she could see visions and stuff like that before she's even at the place. So she became very vital in the case by helping the police, things of that nature. And another reason why the younger sister is so damn clutch. First, she cusses like a sailor. She's very funny. And when her brother is getting jumped or anything like that, she ain't here to play no games. This is a warning for one of the first spoiler alerts. Finney has a problem with bullies, and as Finney is being jumped, sister with no hesitation, who is probably, I don't know, 50 pounds or something like that, picks up the biggest rock she can find and hits one of them boys with a rock. What I liked about this movie, the way it was shot, it was kind of gritty. Some of the scenes were kind of, some of the scenes were intense. Like some of the abductions was very intense and, kind of hard to watch. And that's just my opinion. There's a physical child abuse scene of someone being, beat on or, with a belt. That was kind of hard to watch. So this movie from start to finish is kind of intense, in various ways. And that's it. And that's another thing I did really enjoy about it. I wouldn't necessarily call it like a, yes, it's a horror movie because you got ghosts and things like that, but it's really more so like a suspense, if nothing else. It's a suspense movie that just so happened to have ghosts in it, in my opinion. Granted, there are a few jump scares that did get to me. I do admit that. But as far as the creepiness factor, like there was just some just like some images that are like now just tattooed in my brain that make me just say, you know what? I probably need to watch something lighthearted before I go to bed. And yes, and this is me still saying this, although I don't consider it a horror movie. Let me paint a picture for you. Especially if you are a grown-ass man at this point. Just close your eyes, picture yourself at whatever you were doing at the age of 15 or 16, right? You get abducted, you're abducted by this wannabe creepy-ass magician. You wake up in this, isolated in this room. You have no idea where you are. Your abductor, insults you and, things of that nature. And then he goes upstairs. When he goes upstairs, the door is unlocked. So you wait a few minutes to see if maybe you caught the captor slipping and maybe he just forgot to lock the door. You go through the door thinking you're going to get out. And this is the jarring image that you see waiting for you. Just so he could beat your ass. I know me, when I was 15, 16 years old, I was about, 80 pounds. I probably would have pissed myself before dying. And just imagine, that was, in this movie, that was the first and last image of what some of these boys seen. So, yeah, stuff like that, that kind of stuff was like just cemented in my head of when watching this movie. But I will say this, right? Overall, I thought the movie was amazing. Highly recommend anyone to see it, but there are a few nitpicky parts that, I could have done without. I guess that's a better way to say it. For one, the abductor's younger brother, or I can't remember if he was younger or older, but the abductor's brother, I could have done without. He was just a complete idiot. I didn't see any use for him at all. If anything, he kind of ruined the movie in the sense of bringing some type of comic relief. Yes, and granted, the younger sister brought a lot of the comic relief, but at least it was kind of more natural. The younger brother, being that clueless in a serious movie like that, I could have done without it. Maybe that's me just being nitpicky, and I don't know. Like, of course, this in the world that the director Scott Derrickson puts you in, you understand that, of course, this is like a ghostly type of movie where you got ghosts and, you're going to deal with some of the things that are like unexplained, and you only have so much time to explain stuff when it comes to movies nowadays. But, I would have liked to, I don't know. And once again, these are just nitpicky parts. I would have liked more, explanation about how Finney is talking to ghosts. It's like, I guess if you're just in that room, anybody could just talk to the ghost if they ring the phone. or was it some type of hereditary power that that Finney had or something that allowed him to talk to ghosts? You know, like were the previous victims able to talk to ghosts? You know, and once again, that's nitpicky stuff. I know it's petty, but I would have liked to know that type of stuff. You know, also I would have liked to see if somebody, if some of the other kids almost got away before even being abducted into the van. You know, like, and that was kind of the reoccurring theme. You see this black van, you see the unbeknownst to the kid that he's about to be abducted. You see him walking past the van, and then it just slowly fades to black. I would have liked to see if there was some type of action sequence or some type of struggle with some of these previous kids who ended up being abducted. But once again, I know all that is kind of petty, you know, nitpicky type of stuff. Overall, I thought this movie was amazing. The horror movies within that genre, the ones that get to me the most are the ones that actually have some realistic, factors about it. You know, I know it's sad to say, but you know, still in the year 2022, kids, both male and female, boy and girl or whatnot, are still being abducted. You could probably walk into your local Walmart and see, missing, posters or signs of kids, no matter where you go in the United States. So just back to this movie, I think that's also something that was that kind of sticks with me, watching a movie like this. Well, like I said, any movie that has some type of realistic factor in it, it definitely hits me a little harder. Like if it's like your typical Jasons, your Freddy Kruegers, your Hellraisers, I could watch that all day and go to sleep right after without watching anything lighthearted. But movies that kind of have some realistic, what ifs behind it, those are the one that kind of messed me up a little bit. Nevertheless, still going to be a movie buff and horror genre. Nevertheless, still going to be a movie buff, and horror genre is still my favorite. Just had to keep it real about, the movies that kind of hit me the hardest. Once again, folks, this is just my opinion. Love it or hate it. Peace.